Hello and welcome to week 4 of Parker's Predictions. I'm Parker, he's Jimmy, and we're here to give you this week's picks. How did you do last week?
Oh man, last week I took my first L.
8-1.
Took my first L of the season.
That's really good.
In the last second of that Ohio State Notre Dame. What a game! That was insane.
That last play though, why they have 10 people on the field?
Yeah. That coach has got to just. He's like, did that one player make the difference?
Really. It was a yard.
Yard's so hard to gain.
Yeah.
When you're that close to the goal line.
Yeah, with the people in the box.
One more person just pushing on that line. It could have made all the difference in the world.
It depends on the position. If it was like a corner, then it wouldn't make that much. But if it was a linebacker.
What a game, though. What a game. I mean, hats off to Ohio State. I mean, they
covered the spread, too.
They proved that they can win a tough game. Notre Dame, they have another tough game this week, I think.
They got game day again.
Another game day for Notre Dame.
They're playing in Duke now.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to Duke for the first time ever.
Yeah? So Duke, how are they looking this year?
They're looking okay.
I mean, they're good enough to get game day, so we can say that. Yeah. So.
No, because Notre Dame.
And I don't know how far Notre Dame fell.
They didn't fall much.
They were ranked number 9 and
probably went to they might have stayed number 9. I think the ranking stayed the same.
Okay, all right.
It was Georgia, Michigan, Texas, Ohio State, Florida State, number 6, USC.
So Notre Dame fell.
USC.
Notre Dame fell 2 spots to number 11. So Oregon took the number 9 spot, and Oregon they're looking. What they did to Colorado was just unfair.
Oh yeah,
that was a beatdown.
They're saying what was the biggest thing on American sports this year? Messi, Taylor Swift, or Coach Prime.
Yeah. So right now it seems like Taylor Swift, you can't go anywhere without seeing Travis Kelce?
Travis Kelce.
Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift. I'm getting pretty fed up with that, but that's just the way it is. You know, now that Colorado's kind of out of the picture, and I don't think it's going to get easier for them with USC this week. They may just run into another buzzsaw there. But okay, so let's kind of get back on track here. Notre Dame, I lost that game. Texas, we both won Texas.
Woo.
Texas took care of business and beat up on Baylor like they were supposed to do.
That was what was supposed to happen. What was the spread on that game again?
The spread on that game was 14 points.
We covered.
Covered that, no problem.
But then the Falcons-Lions, though.
Falcons-Lions. That was a tough one. I was rooting for Bijan, but my money was with the Lions.
Yeah, my money was with the Lions, too.
Yeah,
The Lions won.
So Falcons took their first L of the season. Lions
it was a good L,
2-1. Yeah, so... I mean, they're a young, growing team. They got a new quarterback, new running back, so they're figuring some stuff out. But they're a pretty good squad. Yeah, I think they got a bright future.
They do. I think so too.
Bijan especially. You're going to see him as a candidate for the Rookie of the Year. I guarantee you that.
I think he's going to win it.
If he can just,
I think he. I know this is a stretch, but if he keeps this up, he could be next year Offensive Player of the Year. In years to come, I'm crossing my fingers, and I hope he does this MVP.
Yeah.
If he stays what he's doing and
really
gets even better and better and better,
barring any crazy injury or anything, because
goes to a better team.
Man, he's a very loyal kid.
Yeah, he'll stay with the Falcons.
Man, if they're taking care of him, he's gonna take care of you. That's kind of the way
he doesn't care about the money, really. You know.
Yeah, he's pretty set up now. He's a family kid. He's extremely loyal. Likes to give back to the community. I mean, he just checks all the boxes. So I'm hoping for good things for him. Unfortunately, my money wasn't with you this week, son.
Sorry.
The Lions took care of business, so I'm happy there. So that was last week's. What are we looking like this week? What do you want to do? Where do you want to start?
We're not going to do game day because we did Notre Dame last week.
Yeah, we're going to stay away from Notre Dame this week.
That way we don't normally do picks back to back, but we'll start with the LSU Ole Miss game.
Okay, I like that one.
Both of these teams 3-1.
Yeah.
They both have one good loss. LSU lost to Florida State in overtime in a blowout. And Ole Miss last week lost to Alabama.
Yeah. And they just couldn't get anything going on offense.
No.
They really couldn't.
It was like
24-10 was the final. for that Bama Ole Miss game, and Ole Miss just couldn't find a
They
rhythm.
couldn't do nothing.
Mm-hmm. So it'd have been nice if they had been rolling into this game with a big win over Bama. Unfortunately, they're coming off of a loss.
It's a good loss, though.
Sometimes that's what gets you back up. You know,
a good loss to a good team.
You get a good loss exactly to a good team, get you up and ready for another good team coming in. LSU. You know the game.
It's at Ole Miss. You're at home.
The fans are gonna be behind you. LSU coming into town. The quarterback for LSU. You got some stats on that kid?
Yeah, I'll skip his completions. But 1,300 yards, around there. 12 touchdowns and 2 interceptions.
That's good numbers. Those are some good numbers.
Then,
so he's chunking the ball.
This Jackson Dart kid though for Ole Miss. Have you seen him? He has 1,100 yards, 7 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. But look at his rushing though.
Yeah,
he's their rushing leader. 44 carries, 219 yards, and 3 touchdowns.
I saw that when I was doing my homework on this team.
The kid can run.
Yeah, he can do everything. I mean, he's doing everything for the team right now. You know, that's what kind of stood out to me. I was like, well, let's see what they're running. Who's their running back?
Yeah.
I was like, Jay Dart. Oh,
I've seen that guy. Yeah.
Yeah. So
he's a dual threat.
We'll see how he can run around with this on this LSU defense, though. You saw what happened to him last week against the Bama defense. LSU's defense is nothing to sneeze at either. They got some big boys too.
LSU's famous for being the team.
Yeah, they play that SEC defense, man. They're gonna be fast. They're gonna be big, and they're gonna try to push you off the line.
This is the SEC right here.
Yeah, this is big boy football. So, man, LSU's only loss, like you said earlier, was to FSU, and it wasn't a close game.
It wasn't a close
45-24.
game. They were favored big in that game too.
Yeah.
45-24.
But as we're finding out, FSU could be the real deal. You know, so that loss to FSU doesn't look that bad.
It's not
that
bad.
If that's your only loss of the season, we'll see where that lands you at towards bowl prediction time and all that stuff.
This isn't related to what we're talking about right now, but where would FSU be if they got Coach Prime? You think?
I don't. It'd be a totally different team. Because Prime brought his players.
Yeah,
I wonder if he probably would have tried to do the same thing to FSU. And FSU is like it's a kit ready to go.
Yeah, it is.
They have all the players there, right? So it's like
the coach.
Yeah, just plug and play sort of deal. So I don't think FSU would have been the same team if Coach Prime would have went there.
Yeah.
But Colorado's got a couple years before they can get to where they need to be. They're on the right track.
To national championship level and all that.
The money line on this game, man. 2.5 points favored to LSU.
This is a tough game to pick. And it's in the spread. The money line, you said the spread. The money line is 56.5. The matchup predictor.
Oh, matchup predictor. Okay.
6.6.
What about that over under? Did you see that?
67.
A lot of points. They're expecting a shootout. Yeah. Man, every time they predict a shootout in one of these SEC games, it's 10. Yeah, it's 10-3. The final. But I'm leaning with them on this one.
I'm leaning with it too. You go first.
Okay, I'll predict it. I'll go first. Lots of points. I got LSU 42, Ole Miss 35. I'm definitely taking the over in LSU to cover that 2.5. No problem.
All right, I got LSU 34. Ole Miss 31. So I got them barely going under.
Okay.
But I got the spread. Barely.
Gotcha. Okay.
So that's what I got.
All right, we'll see how that game goes. It's I think it's a 5 p.m. kickoff, something like that.
Yeah.
So we'll definitely have our eyes on that game. It should be a good one.
That is a good one. All right, let's go to that NFL pick real quick.
You want to go NFL? Okay, let's do it.
This was a tough pick to make.
Yeah, man. I just got this
70-20.
Yeah, I mean that's the chances of that happening again in this season are probably slim to none. In the next 5 years, very, very slim. That just doesn't happen. Teams don't score 70 in the NFL.
I don't think I don't have like the official stat on this. But I'm pretty sure that was the second most points ever scored by one team in an NFL game.
Gosh, I believe it. I think it was like 72 or something like that.
72 was the record, and they got 70. So one more field goal,
And
they would have broke the record.
Gosh almighty, man.
Against the Broncos, too.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's one of those games to where I was expecting this week someone to get fired, a coaching change, this, that, or the other, a quarterback switch. I didn't hear anything coming out of Denver. So
they're probably thinking of it. I mean, they can't cut Russell Wilson. They gave him a multi-million-dollar contract for 5 years.
Yeah, they're kind of stuck.
You have to stay with him. You can't cut him.
Maybe this is that. God, I don't know what his trade
value is
next year, but they need to start looking for a young franchise quarterback.
They really do.
That should be the first box to check in this year's draft for Denver. Because Russell Wilson, although he's got the knowledge, man. That body starts to wane every while. The line's not the best. He's spending most of the time running around or on his butt. That takes its toll on an old quarterback.
It does.
I mean, take a look at I hate to bring this back up, but Aaron Rodgers only played one series for the Jets, and he was running around like crazy, and you saw what happened to him.
Saw it happen.
God, I mean,
it's sad to say, but
those older quarterbacks, I mean, they got a lot of wear and tear on those bodies.
Yeah.
But I was kind of looking at their the quarterback play on this. Tua,
they're saying he's an MVP candidate already.
8 touchdowns, 2 picks, and then Allen's almost like a 50-50 ball. 5 touchdowns, 4 INTs.
3 to the same guy.
I knew you were going to say that. That's a fun fact right there. That's
very fun. It was during that Jets game. It was at the start of the year. It was a while back, but during that Jets game, he threw 3 interceptions to the same guy, and that guy got the second most receptions on that team behind Stephon Diggs.
Yeah. Their receivers, I guess they're top receivers. How do you pronounce the kid out of Miami? How do you say his name? The receiver from Miami.
Tyreek Hill?
The other one.
You mean the running back, Raheem Mostert?
There you are, the running back. 6 touchdowns on 41 carries, 240 yards for the
really
season.
Good.
Yeah, Jay Cook for Buffalo, 44 carries, 267 yards. But player of the game all eyes are going to be on one guy, Hill. Tyreek Hill.
412 yards and 4 touchdowns.
4 touchdowns.
If y'all had him on your fantasy team when the first week up, 44.5 points.
Yeah, it's just lightning in a bottle. What can you do? So that's where the focus is going to be for me.
That's where the focus is going to be for me too.
The thing that I will throw out there is that yes, they got the win against Denver, right? 70-20, Miami. But the other 2 wins that they've won this season, so they're 3-0. The other 2 wins, only by a total of 9 points.
Ooh, who?
So I can't remember the teams, but they beat 2 other teams by a combination of 9 points. So close games. So you kind of just got to throw the Denver game out the window. That's my main focus. In Buffalo, their only loss was to the New York Jets in overtime.
And we saw that the New York Jets aren't the best.
They're not the best, but
they can play ball.
I'm going to chalk that up to a really, really bad day for Josh Allen.
You think?
He had a bad day. I think he's better than what he played that game. I think the Buffalo defense is definitely going to be able to do a lot better than the Broncos did on stopping these guys. The line is 2.5.
2.5. It's in Buffalo. Let's see what else we got. The weather though, 62 degrees.
Ooh, those Dolphins are gonna be cold, man.
But the yards though for these games. Well, first of all, Miami got 742 yards last week. I just wanted to say that.
742 yards.
That's video game numbers.
Gosh, that's insane.
And then anyways, their total yards are 552 on the season. The Bills haven't even broke 400 on their average for the season. Man, they haven't broke 400 total yards a game.
Man, call me crazy, but this could be the week that they break that.
You think?
Yeah, I think I'm leaning Bills in this game.
You are?
Call me crazy. Call me crazy.
Let's see
you wouldn't be the first person. But it's a noon game. Buffalo will be rocking. They're going to be jumping off of vans, breaking tables, all that crazy stuff, tailgating. I got Buffalo 27, Miami 24.
Oh.
And player of the game for me, Buffalo's defense.
Buffalo's defense.
They're gonna hold. They're gonna.
I wonder if what was his name? Number 3. I already forgot it somehow.
For Buffalo. Receiver.
No, number 3. The safety.
Oh, Hamilton.
Damar Hamlin.
Damar Hamlin. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think he's ready to play yet.
I don't think so.
I don't think he's been cleared yet. But when he does, that's gonna be a huge.
That's gonna be. I don't even know. It's hard to explain what you do for that.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely gonna be a lot of tears shed in
there
the stands. I mean, seeing him.
They better make that game a home game.
Yes, that's gonna be a huge deal for him and his family, and every single fan of Buffalo.
No matter what, if they already know, they better make that game a home game.
I'll be watching.
I'll be watching. I want to because they're gonna do something special.
Yeah. But, how are you calling this game? How do you feel?
I got Miami 45.
What? Holy moly.
Buffalo 38.
Oh wow. So we disagree. Okay.
Again, I got Miami technically covering the spread. Even though it's towards the Bills, but I got Miami winning by 7 points. And they will stay rumbling.
Okay.
They will keep their undefeated record.
I mean,
Miami's the real deal.
Well, we're gonna find out. We're gonna find out
this is the game.
Yeah.
Then I think they got in like a couple weeks. They got Kansas City. They got one of the hardest schedules in football.
They do. Yeah. We're definitely gonna have eyes on that game.
Yeah.
Noon kickoff. I think it's gonna be way closer than what people are thinking, man. I think it's gonna be. Everybody's thinking Miami's going to go into this game and put up 50.
Yeah,
that's not going to happen. Not on this defense.
That's not going to happen.
It's going to be close.
That's the one-of-a-kind thing.
It's going to be close, yeah. So that leads us to you-know-who.
Texas.
Which, if Texas didn't have the game that they have next week coming up, this could be game day. Yeah.
You just can't... I forgot to look at the stat. I was talking to you about it. But I wonder when was the last time these teams played undefeated.
Man, I remember when I can't remember the exact year.
Kansas is number 2.
Yeah, Missouri, Texas Tech. They all had
was
really
West
good.
Virginia in there?
I know
they were in
that
2007.
All those teams were really, really good back in the day. And Kansas rode in there with, I believe his last name was Reese, and Coach Mangino, and they were ranked top 5 easy. Undefeated, they had. That
was probably like what 2002, 2003 around there. Probably.
I can't remember, but
I know West Virginia ruled it for 2007.
They had a good season where these teams have played both undefeated before
in the 2000s.
In the 2000s. But yeah, they're both 4-0. Kansas is in the rankings now, ranked number 24. Texas.
When's the last time
number 23?
I was going to say, when's the last time these teams played ranked? But it was probably that same year.
Yeah, same year. Yeah. Their quarterback, Jalen
Daniels.
Nothing to shake a stick at, man. He's 5 touchdowns, 1 INT.
They were talking about him like crazy last year, but then he got hurt.
Yeah. He's healthy. He's playing good. They've played some lesser opponents.
They have.
I will say that.
Who was their biggest opponent? They played... I know they've had some close games against some bad teams.
Yeah.
But they've played some I don't know how to word it. Like you said, lesser.
Yeah, just some lesser opponents is all. But 4-0
though.
Hey, 4-0 is 4-0,
Yeah.
Just real quick, they beat up on Missouri State 48-17. They beat Illinois 34-23. Nevada was a close game.
That's not a good one.
And then they also beat. So BYU would probably be their biggest win, 38-27.
That's a good
one. They played who they played, and they're 4-0. That's all you can really do.
But who else has led Texas to 4-0?
Some guy by the name of
Quinn
Ewers, something like that.
Quinn Ewers.
1,033 yards, right?
Oh
9 touchdowns.
And how many picks?
Oh man, I lost track of how many.
Picks?
0 picks on the season.
He has no ratio yet. He
Yeah.
has no touchdown to ratio. That's a really good stat to
Keep
say.
that up, man. I mean,
if he can keep this up, if he gets one interception this game and keeps it up, he could go 18 touchdowns and 2 interceptions on the season. That's Heisman numbers. Yeah. And then you put up 4,000 yards.
Yeah.
I don't think that's gonna happen though.
Oh man, I don't want to tease my pick this early in our prediction here, but he's gonna go off this week. I think Quinn's gonna go off this week.
They got a big win in Waco.
They got a big win. What I like about what Texas is doing, they played 4 games. Okay, one team, Alabama, scored 24 points on them. Every other opponent they played, 10 points or less. The defense is playing amazing.
Is awesome.
Yeah.
When's the last time you had a Texas defense this good?
So I really think Texas is going to hold this Kansas team to less than 20 points for sure, and they'll be able to kind of just do what they want on offense. That's the way I'm predicting this. Because even with Kansas's wins, they're still allowing some points to some. They're allowing some
pretty
points
bad
to
some teams. And we allowed 24 points to Bama.
It's going to be a.
That's the thing. If you look at the stats, it looks like Texas is the worst team. Like total yards, Kansas leads in that. Yards allowed, Kansas leads in that. But look at the schedules though.
Yeah. I think it's going to be one of those things to where Kansas will hang in there first quarter, maybe half the second quarter. Yeah. But depth, speed, being physical at the line, all that's gonna wear on those boys. And
this Texas team, we haven't seen it in a while, but they're starting to learn how to play a full game of football. Yeah, we haven't done that in a long time.
Yep.
We've been a fourth quarter team.
Yeah, so I'm hoping that they can. I don't want Texas to let too much out of the bag, you know, because who they got next week.
That's the thing, yeah.
Do not look ahead to Oklahoma.
We can't do that.
Because if you do that, these kind of games have been trap games in the past.
Kansas is coming to... These are the type of teams that are coming to ruin your season.
Yeah.
It's like...
And make theirs. Yeah. You know, a win like this puts Kansas top 15. You know?
Oh, top 15. Maybe even top 10.
Yeah, so...
Depending on how big they win.
They're coming here to make a statement. I think the stadium's going to be nuts.
Oh, the stadium's going to get loud.
It's a 2:30 kickoff, right?
16.5 spread.
Yeah, 16.5 spread. The over-under 61 points. I think Texas is going to carry most of the weight on that 61.
Yeah.
But this defense is playing stingy, you know. I really think that Texas keeps the ball rolling this week.
You think?
How are you feeling, man? You got any crazy stats for me? What's going on?
Both undefeated, but that's all I got.
Yeah.
87 degrees.
Yeah, keep an eye on their running back.
He's gonna get banged up probably.
I expect him to have flashes of light early on.
Yeah, like the Wyoming.
Yeah, I mean he's 394 yards, 5 touchdowns already. So I mean he can run the ball, but he hasn't seen this kind of a defense yet.
He hasn't. He hasn't. BYU.
He hasn't had, a 350-pound man
who sweat.
On you. Yeah, sweat. Yeah. You know, built like a refrigerator.
Oh my God.
And he's eating everything in the refrigerator as well.
Yeah.
He's
eating the refrigerator.
I think that Texas is gonna win this game and win it big. I'm gonna pick first and then let you finish it off like always. Texas 52.
Whoa.
KU 13.
Oh wow.
It's gonna be bad.
You got a high score.
I got a high score game. I mean, the over-under is 61. I'm giving Texas 52 of that. You know, so I got the over, and I got them to cover by a long shot. How are you feeling?
I'm giving Kansas more leeway. I feel like they're going to get points in trash time.
Okay.
I feel like they're going to... It'll be like a 10-10 kind of game in the first quarter.
Okay.
And then we'll hold them till the fourth quarter, then we'll put all the backups in, and they'll get a touchdown here and there.
Okay.
For trash time. I got Texas 41, Kansas 17.
41-17. Okay. So I mean we're not that far off.
Yeah.
We still got a blowout.
Yeah, we still get a blowout. But I feel like we haven't really put points up this year. You know? I feel like we're gonna put in our backups early because of looking who we got next week. we gotta get up early, and then we gotta get ready for Oklahoma.
Okay. Yeah, so you're right on that. I think the most we've scored this season is 37 points against Rice. I take that back. Last week, 38 points against Baylor. But, yeah, you're right. We haven't had that Oklahoma, Oregon. They're scoring 60, 70 on USC. We
need that. We need a blowout.
They're called what? What kind of points?
Style points.
Style points. That's what we're looking for. Let's run it up.
We have to.
Yeah.
If you run up number 24 in the nation, they'll be looking at Oklahoma, Texas next week. Obviously, that's game day.
Yeah.
Unless, I'm not going to say anything. But if we go and we blow out Kansas, they can be looking at putting Texas number 2 if Michigan or Georgia slips up here.
Okay. So I want to check one thing out before you make your pick, or you made your pick already. Okay. So you just mentioned looking forward to next week. So it looks like Oklahoma is playing Ohio State. So Ohio State could be another one of those sneaky upset.
Ohio State?
Not Ohio State. Iowa State.
Okay.
Iowa State could be one of those teams to where, they're trying to ruin someone's season. They're not ranked. I don't believe they're very good this year. They're 2-2, but
that's the type of team.
Anything can happen.
Yeah.
This is what happens with Texas and OU. They look forward to that big rivalry out in Dallas,
and then they get the loss.
You slip up, right? Yeah. And then the game is like, well, no big deal. So
I feel like Sark learned from last year, though.
I hope so.
I know we got the win last year, but I feel like he learned last year that you need to look at the game you're playing this week. You can't look ahead. You can't look behind.
100%. Yeah.
And it's the same way in the game. You can't look at one play in the future. You can't look at one play in the past.
Yeah.
You have to be locked in at where you are right now.
Yeah. I'll make one more other prediction in this game because it was kind of a joke that we've seen every single week. Texas is going to come out first play of the game, swing pass. It's not going to go for anything.
Yeah.
That's it's like
that's a terrible.
They always do that same play to start off the game.
Since you did that, I'll make my prediction for a play.
Okay.
I got Xavier Worthy throwing for a touchdown today. I mean,
you want him? You think he'll throw one?
I think they're gonna do a trick play and he's gonna throw for a touchdown.
Gosh.
He did it last year against OU.
Let's do it. Let's do it, man.
That's a style play.
I'm down for that. Yeah, I'm down for that. And Jay Witt, go out there and ball out, man.
Oh yeah, please.
Go out there and ball out.
Like you're watching this right now.
Yeah, like you're actually watching this. But do your thing. Okay. Well, I'm happy with my picks. You happy? Okay. All right, man. Well, I'll let you sign us off. Let's go eat some pizza.
All right. Well, this has been week 4 of Parker's predictions. He's Jimmy. I'm Parker, and we'll see y'all next week. 3-0. Bye.